Yo, 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 what it do, what it do. I am Donald McKinney, and this is another great episode of Out the Box. And today we're going to be talking about a few topics that's been trending online, specifically Trump and the DC takeover. We also going to be talking about the missing children of the DMV area, specifically Virginia. And lastly, we're going to be talking about all these billionaires that's been popping up, you know what I'm saying, dead or just ending missing, whatever, But do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe to content if you rocking with it. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into today's episode and show. So now, the Trump DC takeover, and what and why is he calling in the National Guard? A lot of people are saying that this is just another reason, what I'm saying, to target black people. I know Black Lives Matter of DC area, and they not feeling it. There was a young lady by the name of Afeni. She's with Black Lives Matter, and she's an activist. And she was actually arrested. They got her on camera being arrested, pepper sprayed, what I'm saying, and threw to the ground very, very, very violently. So I just wanted to kind of dialogue about that a little bit. She specifically is an activist in that area, like I said, and she what they're doing is they're going around and they're kind of policing the cops, watching them while they're arresting people and seeing what they're doing, just to make sure that they're staying in their proper grounds and means within the law and stuff like that. And if you look at the video, she is violently arrested, and specifically it's supposed to be for fair jumping or something like that. But I don't think that that was the case. I think that it's just a show of force, and them just trying to, exert their force over people and show that, hey, we still got it, what I'm saying? Almost like a pissing contest, But needless to say, it's something that kind of makes you think, because a lot of the people, from what I'm hearing in the DC area and posts I've seen online, they're saying that this is something that is a good thing. They're saying that, oh, wait a minute, like, no, we're actually liking this. We actually think that this is a good thing because, the crime in DC is crazy. They're saying it's outrageous. They're saying that it's something that needs to be done. So I feel that if the residents are saying that this is something that need to be done, when I went to DC, I've been to Washington DC in the DMV area. I got an actual sister that lives up there, so I frequent there. I'm saying, a few times, and I didn't really see a lot of the crime and stuff like that. I know that why they call it Chocolate City, because there are a bigger influx of melanated people that do stay in the general area. So I don't want to call this out and being like it's a race war or anything like that, but I do see reports that crime has actually been on the decline, specifically in homicides and things like that. So, specifically them attacking people, or saying that crime is a problem, I don't see it. I don't see it, And then the activists, there are a lot of people that are in the street saying this is wrong. I know the DC police force, they were like, yeah, we don't want this. They actually have lawsuits out against Donald Trump. So we're definitely going to pay attention to this, and we're going to keep, looking into this and stuff like that. So, hopefully, DC, they get it together out there. They're able to stop the crime if that is the process. And hopefully Trump can call back some of these National Guards, because he's even deployed even more National Guard troops there after the initial 800 that he deployed there. So hopefully this isn't something that, turns into something bigger. And hopefully this is a benefit to the country, and specifically the DC area, when it comes to crime, if that is the problem. So, we'll definitely keep you up to date and, up to post about what's going on with that. Now, moving on. Can we talk about the missing children in the DMV area, specifically Virginia? In the past 11 days, there has been 36 missing children reported. Now, in the past year, there's been over 149 children that have gone missing in the Virginia area. And what's kind of funny to me is the Trump administration has been silent on this topic. I wonder if it's a part of the crime he's talking about in, the Virginia DMV area. I wonder if that's the reason why he's deploying the troops. I doubt it, but anywho, and this is something I wanted to point out too, was like, okay, why isn't his administration talking more about all of these missing children, and specifically in the D.C. area, in the Virginia area, these children that have gone missing, and specifically from the research I was doing across America, over 840,000 children go missing or are reported missing in America every year. Only about 90 to 91% of these children are ever found. So you're looking at anywhere from about 5 to 10% of these children that are not found, that are unresolved. Like when I found this out, I thought it was pretty interesting, and I had to talk about it because Chris Brown had made a post about all of the children that were going missing and nothing being said about it. So I definitely, when it came across my feed, I was like, yeah, I definitely want to talk about this on the show, because where are these children going at, and why is it consistently every single year children are going missing, but nobody's talking about it? Specifically, the news outlets, the local authorities. What's up with that? Like, not all jokes aside, like, what's up with that? That's a problem, and specifically the percentage of children that that don't make it back home, because they're saying that a lot of these children, they are runaways, and they do make it back to their families and so on and so forth. But what about the children that don't? What about the children that aren't making it back to their families, and the children that are missing? And from the reports I'm looking at, if you've got only 5 to 10% of 140,000 children that go missing every year, that's tens of thousands of children that are going missing, that are unresolved and not making it back to their families. So we definitely want to point that out, because when children go missing, I don't think it's just a coincidence at all. Do we blame the parents? Do we blame the perverted sickos that are taking these children? Do we blame the government? Somebody needs to be held accountable. Straight up. That's all I'm saying. It's like we got to do a better job, And I'm getting these statistics from the FBI crime prevention website is what I'm getting these statistics from on the children that are going missing and stuff like that. So definitely going to be paying closer attention to what's happening to these children, where they're going at. Please watch over your children. Teach your children how to call 911. Tell your children and loved ones, look, cousins, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Hide your children, your sisters, your wives, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Just really specifically target these children and put them on code about what it and how to carry themselves when they're sitting out on these bus stops in the morning, when they're interacting with adults that they're not familiar with, and how to prevent, as much as possible from the abductions of our future, because our children are our future. So with that being said, moving on to my last topic and subject, y'all, what in the world is going on with all of these missing billionaires coming up missing? These people ending up dead. Like, in the past year, we've got over 31 dead billionaires, and the wealth is accumulating to over $210 billion. And I said that with a B, y'all. Not an M, a B. Now, billion, just think about that. 1 billion is 999 million plus. You got $210 billion that just people that was worth that much that just died. And a lot of these people was old heads, It's older people specifically. I mean, that's a lot of money. Who are the heirs that is getting this money? Can I be in one of y'all wheels? Nah, I'm just teasing. But no, seriously, for real, that's a lot of money. And whoever's inheriting this money and the heirs to this money, who are they? And what companies just specifically are these people involved with, right? One I just want to point out with is specifically that sticks out to me was the Blackstone Group. The Blackstone Group, they had a person that was murdered and killed, specifically by the name of Wesley Patner. She was a Blackstone executive that was specifically over the real estate department, of Blackstone Group. Now, Blackstone is a private equity firm who have some really, really real bad history, so to say, if I can say that, what I'm saying, specifically around shadow banking, which shadow banking is basically, they don't have to follow the same regulations as a regular bank does. They've been having some shady deals with overcharging customers with hidden fees, illegal banking practices, specifically child exploitation, working, they own companies that specifically are working children long periods of times and hours and stuff like that, and illegally from what I'm hearing. They deal with companies that are deforesting, the Amazon forest, just a really, really, really bad company. And specifically, a brother went up in there, about a month ago and shot up and killed, specifically this lady by the name of Wesley Patner and a security guard, and shot a few other people. So, don't condone violence on this channel. That's what we don't do. But at the same time, y'all shady. Y'all shady straight up. Y'all got some shady dealings going on. And, I was always taught, he or she who lives by the sword dies by the sword. So, I don't know what's going on with all these billionaires that are coming up dead, but it doesn't make any sense to me. And like I said, on this channel, we don't believe in coincidences, right? I don't believe it's no coincidence at all. So, a lot of these billionaires, and specifically the Blackstone Group, has been a part of the reason why your rent is going up. Raising the rent on Americans. I believe that's one of the charges that the SEC filed against them, specifically for, raising the rent up. And they own everything. Like Blackstone Group, BlackRock, these people own everything. So do your due diligence research and checking out on them and stuff like that. Like I said, he or she who lives by the sword dies by the sword. So if the shoe fits, wear it. Once again, I'm going to leave that there. Just a little bug to put in your ear and stuff to research in and look at. Once again, my name is Donald McKinney. This has been another great episode of Out the Box. Please do me a favor, like, subscribe, and share. Until the next time we